In this exercise, you'll be taking this existing page with content, which is basically a few paragraphs and some heading 1 and heading 2 tags, and break it up into a layout that will look something like this, where we have one main story section and then what looks like 3 columns, which are actually 3 separate div tags, and a little footer section down at the bottom. So you're going to create a div tag called banner, as you can see here, one called left, one called middle, one called right, and down at the bottom, one called footer. Using the techniques you've seen in the previous tutorial, I want you to create this, and I'll just go through the style sheet now and double click them so you can see all of the properties that will be attributed to each div tag. So again, you'll create the properties, then you'll go and surround the content and wrap it in a div tag and name it according to what we have here. And in this case, for the banner, under positioning, we're using absolute, and we'll use absolute for all of these div tags in this exercise. And we're using a width of 800 pixels with a height of 255 pixels. And we're positioning it in the top left corner, top 0, left 0. And I've created a dotted line border along the top and the bottom. So under the border category, I used dotted for top, dotted for bottom. Of course, I unchecked same for all. And then I used the medium setting, and I used the medium gray 999. And that is the banner. For the left, I went to positioning, gave it an absolute position, width 245 pixels, placement, and you'll have to do a bit of math here or just follow along with what I'm dictating. Placement for the top is 270 pixels down, and to the left it's 0 pixels. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, which is going to be on all of these div tags, and I'll mention it now, is that in the box category, everything has a margin of 10 pixels. So I'll repeat, for every div tag, all 5 div tags, in the box category, the margin will be 10 pixels. So let me go down to the middle. Once again, the box category, 10 pixels. Under positioning, absolute, width of 245 pixels, placement 270 pixels from the top and 260 pixels from the left. And these numbers were derived from doing a little bit of math on paper, basically. No border on this. And finally on the right, again, we've got the margin going all around. And you can see up here we do have the width and height reflected, but they were input in the positioning category. So I'm just going to state them through this box here. Positioning, absolute, width 245 pixels, height 590 pixels, placement 270 pixels from the top, left 520 pixels from the left. And OK. And finally, we'll go down to footer. And the footer has a border as well. Dotted line on the top only. Thin, using number sign CCC, which is a light gray. It also has a margin of 10 pixels in the box category. So those are all the settings for the 5 different div tags that you will be creating on this page to lay out based on this content. Now there are a couple of other things that you can see here. I'm getting you to also create 3 tag styles. One for the paragraph, and the paragraphs will be set to Verdana, font size 11 pixels. The H1 tags will be set to Times New Roman, font size 36 pixels. And finally, the H2 tags will be Times New Roman, font size 18 pixels. And I click OK. And you should save all of these styles in a new style sheet, which I've simply named stylesheet.css. And then I'll just preview this in the browser very quickly here. Oh, take two. So now I'll just preview this in the browser very quickly to take a good look at it. Preview in Firefox. And there we have it. And you can see the dotted lines, which are in fact two sides of the border. And our margin has given us this little bit of breathing space around the edges. And if I scroll down, there's my footer at the bottom. So I'd like you to create this layout today with the content provided.